He is an analyst for the Utah Hockey Club. He's nice enough to join us once a week. He's our buddy Nick Olczyk. What's up, Nick?
Jake and Ben, great to be with you guys. I know the weather is beautiful out there in Salt Lake recently, but I am poolside in Tampa Bay right now, so don't be too jealous of me, all right?
Oh, poolside, that sounds pretty good. Yeah, that doesn't sound bad at all. You know, it's lovely here, but we are not quite poolside yet. So,
hey, Nick, can you talk to us about the culture of Tampa? It seems to be not the city, the team. It seems to be one of the premier franchises, and it has drawn a lot of praise, including recently from Coach Bear.
Yeah, I think it always starts at the very top with ownership and Mr. Vinnick down here in Tampa, who owns the Lightning. His amazing job creating a culture and a place where players want to play because they get taken care of. Their families get taken care of first and foremost, and that's what's most important to these players. Accommodations at home, I think that's really where it starts. And then once that's the foundation, then the rest of the, I guess, attractions, you'll say, happen. And then, of course, that happens. You attract good players, and when good players all want to play together, win, and you win for a long. They've arguably been, a top team or the top team in the league for the last 5, 6, 7 years, including the back-to-back Stanley Cups that they won, pretty recently. And I think as far as the team makeup goes, they have such a good balance. And then head coach Andre Tourigny referred to it the other day, as you guys had said, and they have the of and Victor Hedman on the back end, and a guy that goes by the affectionate name of Big Cat in between the pipes, Andre Vasilevsky, who is likely to play in goal against the Utah Hockey Club tomorrow night. But for all the superstars that they do have, they have other guys that complement them so well. A guy like Brandon, who set a career high in points, over 75 this year, but he's more of a straight-ahead type of player. Go to the net, score goals that way. He's going to play hard. He's going to be physical. They got guys like Anthony Cirelli, who made Team Canada and was an incredible depth center for them. It's not always, flashy, but, they find a way to get the job done. And I think one thing that Tampa does so well, and we saw it last game when these two teams played, for as much skill as they have, they play in the hard areas. They go to the front of the net. They're going to go into the corners and then win puck battles and come out with it and be first on the offensive side. So, they definitely have a model. And shown here in recent years. But with that being said, to round it back out in Utah's way, you look what a great steward and governor of the Utah Hockey Club, Ryan Smith, has been, along with his wife Ashley. You want to attract great players. That's how you do it. It has to start from the very top, and these players knowing that they're going to be a part of a franchise that cares for them as both players, but more importantly, people. And, look, a lot of franchises and a lot of teams could learn from what Tampa's done. And, it's here's.
With all that being said about Tampa, the last time these two teams played, which was only two games ago, Utah Hockey Club won 6-4 and played really well, and then follow it up with an obvious stinker against Detroit, losing 5-1. So explain to me that swing, Nick. Is that just the nature of hockey, or is that the sign of a young team? Give me kind of a look into that.
Yeah, I think I would say that's the nature of hockey. Every game's different, right? And to have the same mindset going into each game, I think is necessary. It's crucial. And Utah took advantage of a goalie that had his first start in the NHL. They put pucks on him early. They got some good bounces. I think the power play looked really strong. And for as many nice goals as they scored, 4 of their 6 goals in that game were scored within 8 feet of the blue paint. And this time of year, when you've got teams that are battling for playoff position or home already, that's where the goals are going to be scored. And you look at a team like Tampa, guys, they're going to make the playoffs. But with where they're at in the Atlantic Division, they're trying to get home ice. And that's the next important thing. The next most important thing is once you're in, okay, now we want to get home ice for the first round. We want to get home ice for the second round. And if you win your division and you have the most points in the conference, then you got it all the way up until the Stanley Cup final until you play, the team in the other conference. So that game, I think what impressed me most was how well Utah got to the inside. They made their plays on the perimeter. They made them on the outside to possess the puck, but then they got to the middle of the ice, and they gave Tampa fits. Now, Tampa does it as well as anybody. So in the D zone, there were stretches where Tampa really pushed the pace, but Utah bent. They didn't break. Yeah, they let up 4, but they found a way to win that game. And then I think against Detroit, I think early, that's the type of game where I look at the power play. They got the one from Dylan Gunther on an incredible pass from Clayton Keller, a no-look pass, but he didn't have to look because that's the setup that these guys run every day, and it's muscle memory. They know exactly where each other are at. But as the game went on, it was a bounce here, a bounce there. It was back and forth. But they had opportunities on the power play to pull closer in that game, to tie the game, or to give themselves the lead on the other 4 looks that they had. It just was a little bit too stagnant, I felt. And as a penalty killer, that's what you want. You want power plays on a lot because then you don't have to move. You're not stretched. You're not pulled. It's easy to kill off those types of power plays, but they did some great work in practice today. Have a lot more movement from down low to up top, in the middle, out to try and push and pull that penalty kill in and out of position to try and get in behind enemy lines. But I think each game is so different. And when I look at the Tampa, they got to the middle, they scored greasy goals. In Detroit, or against Detroit, what's the one thing that kind of let power play, and that they just couldn't find a way to come through like they have in other games this year. And sometimes that's the difference between winning or losing. But they got to find a way here to go on a run. You got 11 games left. You're a couple of points, a couple of wins out of a playoff spot. Okay, well, that's the situation that they're faced with, and we'll see if they can string together a couple of wins, especially in regulation.
Hey, Nick, thank you very much. Enjoy poolside. We appreciate you taking a few-minute break for us.
Yeah, get a day off.
Of course, guys. Appreciate it, and I'll talk to you soon.